What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and I keep doing this. I keep apologising. It's just a mad one at the minute. It's absolutely mad. Obviously, with the Euros and that, games, things coming thick and fast, life changing. It's just been mad busy, like mad busy. So apologies. Promise. From today, we will get back to one video per day, I promise. And we've got some updates. Let's just talk about a couple of things that we've heard about in the recent news. Moise Kean, I believe, has been told by Rafa that unless somebody comes in with money, he's not going out on loan. So there's a chance that Moise Kean may be staying at Everton. And look, that's not a negative, is it? You know, I've said this before. A lot of people sort of wash their hands with Moise Kean, and a lot of people have said that they don't necessarily want to give him a second chance. And look, opinions are opinions, but for me, you know, being such a young lad coming into a new country, and yes, he had limited games, and I think he could have played more. You know, I think he deserves a second crack at it if he's prepared to do that. You know, if his attitude's going to be bad, then yeah, I'm going to struggle with accepting him in the first team. But from Everton's perspective, I think this is win-win. You know, because we potentially, at this moment in time, no one is coming in for our players at the minute. No one is coming in for our players that we've heard about. Everton are apparently interested in Dumfries still, and it's just waiting on an official bid. You take that. You know, we've been linked with Lenglet, or however you pronounce his name, the Barcelona defender that we all know, and we hope that he's the sort of player that we would. You know, he's the sort of player that obviously would improve any defence. You know, this is a guy that I really rate. I think he's a very good footballer, plays at the heart of the Barcelona defence. So again, we're still being linked with decent names. So that could be a right-back and Dumfries, and it could be a centre-back in Lenglet or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Fucking hell. And then obviously there's other areas that Everton have got to identify, strengthen, go after. So, look, from my perspective, everything's positive from an Everton perspective. Rafa's come in. The players have been back a week now. I believe they played a game today against Accrington Stanley. I'm sure that's what John told me earlier. And I think he said that Gibson, Anthony Gordon, and Connor, Tom Connor, I think it is, from the under-23s, all scored. So again, it's just giving minutes to people. So that again is positive. I just look. I think from an Everton perspective, I sort of want us to start moving now. You know, obviously we're all excited for the Euros, and it is fucking coming home, obviously. But it's just mad that, you know, the preparations are so. You almost think the season starts in 4 weeks. You know, we've got a pre-season trip to Florida yet. You know, it's just a bit like crammed in, and I don't think it's ideal for a new manager. I don't think it's been ideal for Rafa Benitez, and there's still Everton fans that are really not happy about him being our manager. And again, look, opinions are opinions. I'm cool with it. Whatever needs to happen, needs to happen. But I just think Everton just need to sort of step up now, progress, and just stay steady, keep going the way that they're going. And you know, if they're gonna achieve things this season, then that's gonna happen. If we're not, we're not. But what I really think is if we can get the core of this squad back so we can assess them. You know, it looks like a lot of the lone players are obviously back. Rafa's having a look at them. Marcel Brands will be there having a look at them, seeing their development. None of that's a negative. Giving them the chance to sort of prove their Everton first team credentials is not a negative. So I'm certainly not against that. And let's talk about the Euros a little bit, because I have not done any content for the Euros whatsoever. And that's just because there's been so much out there by fantastic content creators. You know, good friends of mine have done good videos. I think England win tomorrow, but I think it's a very tight game. I think it'll be 1-1 in 90 minutes, and then I think it'll be 2-1 in extra time. I think England will score a winner in extra time. Wembley's going to be bouncing. It's going to be such a good atmosphere, I suspect, very ferocious if it needs to be, really pushing if it needs to be, and I think the Italians will struggle. The Italians have played really well this tournament, and obviously the fact that they'd come into it off the back of, I think it was 30 games without defeat under Mancini shows just sort of what the Italians are capable of. You know, they're a very, very, very good side, but you know, I trust England. I trust England defensively. I still question Southgate to a degree, but how can you? You know, this is our first final in 50 odd years. 55 years. It's our first final, so you can't criticise him too much. But you know, I would have liked to have seen Grealish. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Calvert-Lewin. I would have liked to have seen, some of these more creative players starting consistently instead of playing essentially a back seven and three aggressive players. But, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips have impressed me. Calvin Phillips has really impressed me. This is a lad who, we all knew he was a good player, but I think he's really stepped up in these Euros. Credit to him. I think Grealish changes every game he comes on for. Don't understand why he was subbed the other night, but he was. So that's that. And then I think defensively we've been strong. Pickford for their goal. I'm sort of on the fence about it. I don't know whether I do seriously sit there and blame him because I don't necessarily think it was his fault. I think it was more a case of when the wall moved, because if you watch, the wall moves. It moves to the right hand side. So he's gone from seeing everything to seeing nothing until it's literally above his head. He's probably a yard over to the left as well, too far, and he just gets his fingertips on it. But otherwise, England win that game 1-0, and I just think Italy are going to really struggle to break us down. And if we do go behind, I know we've got the players on the bench to change it. It's just whether Southgate does it. And that's going to be a real test of his mettle. If we do go one down, does he make the substitutions to change it? And I don't know whether he will or he won't. Do you get what I mean? I don't know, because I wanted to see more of a Grealish. I think Grealish offers a lot more than Mason Mount does in that position, but he's chosen to play Mount a lot of the time. I think Sterling, although he scored 2 goals and he's been a good ball carrier, I don't actually think he's been fantastic this tournament. I think Harry Kane drops far too deep. One of the criticisms I gave him against Denmark the other night was I think he'd have scored another goal other than a penalty if he spent more time in the box instead of coming in and linking play, because linking play between midfield and your attack shouldn't be done by Harry Kane. Harry Kane should be scoring those goals, scoring those balls across the box, and he wasn't there enough for me. And I think he will have to be against Italy. He will have to cause Chiellini and Donnarumma and the centre-backs of Italy problems, because if there is no one there, Italy will find that quite easy. So, for me, I start Grealish and I'll play Grealish instead of Mount, and I make sure that Harry Kane stays in and around the box and doesn't come out to it, doesn't try and play all this neat football. I just want him in the box to score the goals when the ball comes over to him or it's thread through to him. That simple. But yeah, from an Everton perspective, look, there isn't tons and tons of news. The home kit was released the other day. I'm very much on the fence about it. I don't know if I like the mosaic design. I really don't know if I'm feeling that. And the goalkeeper kit, it's completely split opinion. But actually, I really like it. I actually really, really like the goalkeeper kit. And the shirt that I'll buy this season will be the goalkeeper shirt. The thing that disappoints me, and I'm throwing this in at the end of the video because I don't want to overcook it, but the price for children's kits these days, absolutely scandalous. I sort of, I looked at buying a shirt for Finlay, and I looked at buying the shorts and the socks and whatever, and I'm sure it was like 75, 80 quid. And that's mad. Like, that's just mad. I remember when my mum could buy my kit for 50 quid, 25 quid for the short, 25 quid for the shirt, £12.50 or whatever it was, and £7.50 for the socks, stuff like that. That's not even 50 quid, but I could have the name of the player I wanted on the back, and can't do any of that now. So I think the pricing of children's kits is a bit much. But again, that could be you know, the manufacturers, etc. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'm leaving it there. Have a glorious Saturday evening. Obviously, England win tomorrow, and I'm not going to end it with up the toffees. I'm going to say it's coming home. Peace.